What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? This is Alex from Brand New Productions, and guess what? I will be doing my review on Doctor Strange. So I'm going to start talking about the pros and cons of what I thought of the movie. So yeah, let's get into it. So the pros of the movie that I had was the evolution of Doctor Strange, the character. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a really good job portraying the arrogant doctor and also the Sorcerer Supreme, as we know as Doctor Strange. I really enjoyed how we saw him develop in that character, because when you first are introduced to Doctor Strange, he's very arrogant. He really doesn't care about the world. You know, he has all the money he needs, and he's a successful doctor who likes to show off. He's pretty much very, very arrogant, like Tony Stark. You get that Tony Stark feeling. But when you see the tragic thing that happened to him and how that basically transformed his way of thinking, basically giving himself away, giving his thoughts, his ego away, you see him become this ultimate Sorcerer Supreme, as we know as Doctor Strange. And I think how they developed the character of Doctor Strange, of Benedict Cumberbatch playing the character, is very well done. The next pro that I had is that the storyline of the movie was awesome. From beginning to end, it really showed me where they were going in terms of the storyline. Basically, it was straight out of a comic book for me. From comic book panel to another comic book panel. If you've ever read a Doctor Strange comic book, it's literally straight out of the comic books of how Doctor Strange became who he was, how he's introduced to all these other characters like the Ancient One, Mandu, and how he's learning how to be his power, learning how to use his powers and the different spells. And the storyline from beginning to end wasn't choppy. It was awesome. It was a really good fit for what it was, and Marvel did a really good job in shaping the narrative of this story. Another pro that I had was the visual effects were stunning. I've watched a lot of movies. I've watched a lot of Marvel movies, but I have never seen any movie visually like this. This movie is freaking awesome. The way they do the fight choreography, the spells, the different dimensions, the things that you see visually, it is unreal. It's so cool. Like, it's so awesome, and I just wish we could have gotten more and more and more of that. But when you watch the movie, it's filled with visual effects. It was ultimately done great. If you ever get a chance to watch this movie, I would recommend to watch it in IMAX 3D. I didn't get to see it in IMAX 3D. I saw it in standard, but I think the movie, you would appreciate the movie more if you saw it in IMAX 3D. So visually, hands down, the greatest movie I've ever seen, and visually, it's freaking awesome. So the pro that I had was the comedy. The comedy in this movie really fit the movie. It was really good. It shaped the narrative of who Doctor Strange was as a simple doctor to who he is now, being Doctor Strange. The comedy in this movie was hilarious. Oh my God, like, it just fit really well of who the character was supposed to be. And me personally, I thought Marvel was gonna go with a serious tone, but like every Marvel movie, there's gonna be a lot of aspects of comedy in each of their films, and man, they nailed it. I really enjoyed the comedy in this movie. With the cons, speaking of the cons of this movie, one of the cons that I had, even though I spoke really highly of the comedy, there were some comedy elements that I felt were forced. So there are certain elements in the movie where they try to be funny, where it's kind of like, it's not really all that funny. I get where they were going, but it's not. Some of those elements were forced, but you will appreciate the comedy more once you get past all those forced moments. Another con that I had, I feel like they really didn't develop the villain. Don't get me wrong, we do get some backstory of the villain and some scenes of dialogue, but it's not really developed enough, and we know what his motives are, but I don't really understand why he's doing what he's doing. So I couldn't really understand that particular perspective of the villain. So I think that was another con for me. Another con that I have for the movie, and I only have literally three cons of the movie. Another con that I have for the movie is that I wish that Doctor Strange could have studied. We could have seen him study more and become the Sorcerer Supreme. We see in the movie that he kind of learns how to be a sorcerer really quickly. We do see that aspect of him struggling, but we don't see it enough. So I think that overall, I think that we should have saw that aspect a little bit more instead of him evolving so quickly into that Sorcerer Supreme role. But overall, it's the way I saw it. It's believably made. It's believably done. Overall, to give my final scores of the movie. So, if I had to scale this movie between 1 to 10, I would give this movie an 8.5. This movie is freaking awesome. I recommend everybody to go see it. It's a must-see movie. It does tie into the Marvel Universe, so we will see Doctor Strange in the next Avengers movie. But the only reason why I give it an 8.5 is because just the cons that I had, development of the villain, the development of Strange learning his powers, and some of the comedy elements were kind of off. But overall, great movie. Go see it with your family. Go see it in IMAX 3D if you can afford it. But it's a great movie. It's a must-see. This is Alex from Brand New Productions, and thank you so much for watching my review on Doctor Strange.